Two.
Let me get
what?
Hotep
Okay.
family. We are sitting in the Charles H. Wright Museum in what I call Moortown, Detroit.
All right.
And we just premiered Black Friday 2. And this is the first time I'm seeing it. And it is really a very powerful film. And I think the way that Brother Mathis and his crew organized those that would be a part of it, and the way in which he put it together, and the way in which he segued all of the pieces together, it is just one holistic thought about why we as a people have the power to liberate ourselves and emancipate ourselves from everything, and to be able to take us to another level economically. It is a very powerful film, and I'm very proud and happy to have been a part of this film, because this will be history. When we look back, just like we look back on the greats of yesterday, this film and Rick Mathis will also be looked. The same way with Oscar Micheaux, when we look at that dynamic filmmaker, well, there's a new, because I grew up in the so-called black exploitation era, with our Shafts and Superflies and all the films. I grew up in that era. And then, and I respected and honored each one. They were our heroes. They were who we had. But I believe there's a new era out. This era of filmmaking now is a new era of black filmmaking. And I'm just very happy and proud to be a part of this process. And Black Friday, check it out. It will change the way you think. It'll change what you do with your money. And it'll change where you put your money. So check it out. And I congratulate Rick Mathis and his crew and his staff and all those that were a part of it. He has a dynamic crew of people. And like I say, the way it was put together was phenomenal.
Thank you. And what was the highlight for you, lastly?
The highlight for it was the way in which it was broken up into 7 sections. Each section, and the most important section for me, was the value of time. And the reason why is, and again, you know, the way my mind functions a little bit different than how some people, but the reason why it was important to me is because everything I do, I think in terms of the cosmos. I think of something much larger than our Earth. I think much larger than human beings. And when you deal with cosmos, and when you look at the Shabaka stone, and when you look at the Dogon, our ancestors dared to go back before existence existed, before the beginning began. In other words, they dared to go back to a time when time didn't exist. And it was a radical thought that made them step back beyond time. We use time in order for us to live our lives as we move forward. Every step we make is time. But as African people, we are beyond time and beyond space. And so we are a 6-dimensional people. We're living in a 3rd dimension. We are like whales that are living in goldfish bones. The world has been set down for us by the Western model, deals with height, width, and depth. And this work is Edward Bruce Bynum in his book Dark Light. But black folk operate in 6 dimensions, because once you embrace height, width, and depth, which are basically earthly time and space. But once you get to the 4th dimension, the and of time and space goes out and it becomes a dash or a slash. Now you're dealing with the collapsing of all these dimensions, 3 dimensions, into the 4th dimension, which actually is time-space. Time-space is irrelevant as it relates to where you are, geography, space. Time is history, the time that you're there. So as African people, we're tripping over ourselves because we are much larger than the people that we're around. Once you get to the point of time-space, you then get to light. We are beings of light that are in time-space. And then the 6th is what keeps us on the earth, which is gravity. It centers us. Go back to Black Friday. The idea of time. If you were to put an elder with great resources, money, everything, cars, homes, all that he has, or she, if you ask them, I'll give you one thing, only one thing. They wouldn't ask for more money, more cars, more homes. They'd ask for just a little bit more time. Time is the most precious thing we have, and how we use it is so precious to us every day. And that's why being here and being a part of this endeavor, such as Black Friday, is so important to me, because it was time worthy of the time we spent doing it. So you spend your time. It's precious, but you deserve the best, because y'all the best. Hotep, keep on keeping on. It ain't over till we win.